We are following the latest developments out of Iran and the Middle East as U.S. military operations in the region continue into a second day. U.S. Central Command saying today that 3 U.S. service members were killed and several others wounded in Kuwait. Iran has launched several retaliatory strikes on U.S. bases across the Gulf region after the U.S. and Israel killed Iran's supreme leader yesterday. Israel also getting struck. President Trump releasing a new statement today on what he says the administration is calling Operation Epic Fury.
As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is, likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
The president also telling the Iranian Revolutionary Guard to lay down their arms and, quote, receive full immunity or face certain death, end quote. This as Iran vows to avenge their supreme leader's death. ABC's Johnny Fernandez has the latest.
Today, as the U.S. and Israel carry out a new round of strikes in Iran, news comes that U.S. service members have been killed and others seriously wounded in Kuwait, according to government officials. On Saturday, the president cautioned Americans that there would be risk.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
Today, the president praising the military on social media, saying, quote, "We have destroyed and sunk 9 Iranian naval ships, some of them relatively large and important." Images showing some of that damage. The fighting intensified after a targeted strike killed Iran's supreme leader over the weekend. ABC News has learned the CIA had been tracking him for months, according to a person familiar with the intelligence. A move that sparked Iran's vow of retaliation. Overnight, Iranian leaders threatened U.S. forces and allies. President Trump issued a direct warning, saying if Iran strikes, the United States will respond with a force that has never been seen before. Iran's response?
We are defending ourselves, and we have every right, every legitimate right to defend ourselves. What the United States is doing is an act of aggression. What we are doing is the act of self-defense. There are huge differences between these two.
Multiple countries across the Gulf have seen Iranian drone and missile attacks, mostly aimed at U.S. bases across the region. In Israel, 9 people were killed from a strike outside Jerusalem. Protests filling city streets across Europe and the U.S. in support of the Iranian people. President Trump now saying Iranian leaders want to talk after this weekend's strikes. He has agreed to engage, according to The Atlantic. A senior official telling ABC News that the president wants to speak to new potential leadership in Iran. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
And ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has been tracking local reaction to the developments out of the Middle East this weekend and has more for us.
In California's Central Valley, they danced and sang Sunday, reveling in the news that just a day ago, U.S. and Israel strikes killed Iran's supreme leader.
And we're just all excited about what's happening right now in Iran. This is like the best news that we've ever heard.
And it's news that Iranian-Americans in Turlock had longed for.
And I have a lot of family back home, and I want everyone to be free, to experience freedom, to work where they want, to have a good time just like we do.
The regime that's in Iran hopefully will be gone and it will be changed. They have done awful things to people of Iran and executed people who all they wanted was freedom.
But while many Iranian-Americans celebrate, analysts like Steve Swatt say political support within the U.S. is mixed.
If it's a very quick incursion, more or less, I think that probably helps President Trump politically. But if it lingers, I think it's going to probably hurt.
Swatt says the military action has already pitted some staunch Republicans against the president, saying that if action continues and if American fatalities rise, support could erode just as midterm elections begin.
Well, economically, you're going to see the price of gasoline rising. And already some experts are saying expect it to go up at least 30 cents a gallon in the near future. And so that's another thing that will play on the public's mind here domestically. Is this worth it?
We don't want the war either. It's tragic, but I think it has to happen because this is a revolution for the Iranian people.
With eyes on a revolution, this group in Turlock celebrating.
We are here with our Iranian friends, and we hope that freedom is given to them very soon.
In Turlock, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And we'll continue to follow this developing story with updates on air and online. Make sure to download our free ABC 10 streaming app to be the first to receive breaking developments.